Have you ever noticed that your legs don't feel as steady or strong as they used to? Maybe getting out of your favorite recliner feels like a small challenge. Or climbing the porch steps takes more energy than you remember. Perhaps you've even had a moment where a slight trip or stumble made you feel uneasy for the rest of the day. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're not just getting old. I'm here to tell you that what you're feeling might have less to do with age and more to do with something simple, fixable, and often overlooked: missing vitamins and minerals that your body quietly depends on. As we get older, our legs are often the first to show signs of weakness, imbalance, or fatigue. They carry us through a lifetime of steps, from long days at work to dancing at weddings to walking your grandkids around the park. But by the time we hit 60, those same legs might start to complain. The good news? A lot of the changes we think are just part of aging: wobbly knees, cramps at night, or feeling like our balance is slipping, can actually be traced back to deficiencies in a few key vitamins. I remember talking to a friend of mine, John, a retired firefighter from Texas. At 64, he still has that same determined spirit he had when he was fighting fires. But one day he told me, "Doc, I feel like my legs are betraying me. I can't climb a ladder without feeling like I might fall." We sat down, looked at his lifestyle, and guess what? He wasn't getting nearly enough of the nutrients his body needed to keep his muscles firing and his bones strong. After just a few small changes, adding the right foods and a couple of safe supplements, he told me, "I feel like I got my legs back." That's the kind of transformation that's possible. And it can happen faster than you might think. This video is made for people just like John and you, who want to keep walking, climbing, and moving with confidence well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 powerful vitamins that can strengthen your legs, reduce painful cramps, and bring back that steady, reliable feeling you've been missing. These are the same nutrients I've recommended to dozens of seniors over the years, and the results have been life-changing for many of them. But before we dive in, let's talk about why these deficiencies happen in the first place. See, our bodies are like well-built houses. The legs are the foundation. But over time, the building materials, things like calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, start to run low. Our skin doesn't produce vitamin D from sunlight as effectively as it used to. We might eat less or skip certain foods because of digestive issues or medications. Even small lifestyle changes, like spending less time outdoors or drinking more coffee or tea, can slowly drain these nutrients. When that happens, it's not just about bones or muscles. It affects your balance, your reflexes, even your confidence in every single step. Have you ever woken up at night with a sudden, stabbing cramp in your calf? It feels like a rope pulling your muscles so tight you can barely move. Many seniors accept this as just part of aging. But I want you to know it doesn't have to be that way. Night cramps, muscle twitching, or even that feeling of heavy legs after a short walk are your body's way of waving a red flag, saying, "I need help." I've met countless folks, retirees from California, teachers from Florida, even my own neighbors here in Ohio, who told me they were scared to walk around their block for fear of falling. Do you know the #1 cause of serious injuries for people over 60? Falls. And do you know what's behind a lot of those falls? Weak legs, poor balance, and slow reflexes, all things that the right vitamins and minerals can improve. Let me give you an example. A few years ago, I met Mary, a grandmother from Oklahoma. At 70, she loved gardening but felt like her legs weren't strong enough to squat down and pull weeds anymore. She was also having trouble standing up from her favorite rocking chair. She thought it was just old age. But after testing her vitamin levels, we found that she was severely low in vitamin D and magnesium, 2 of the biggest culprits behind muscle weakness and cramps. We adjusted her diet to include more salmon, leafy greens, and a simple vitamin D supplement. Within 6 weeks, Mary told me, "I'm back in my garden every day, and I don't feel afraid of losing my balance anymore." That's the kind of transformation we're talking about. So, why are these vitamins so powerful? It's simple. They work together like a team. Vitamin D helps your muscles stay strong and responsive, while calcium builds up your bones. Magnesium prevents cramps and keeps your muscles relaxed, while potassium supports smooth nerve signals that control every step you take. Vitamin K makes sure calcium goes to your bones, not your blood vessels, and B vitamins, B12 and B6, keep your nerves firing properly. Without these, your body feels like a car with loose wires, nothing works quite right. Now, don't worry. I'm not here to push any expensive products or complicated diets. Most of these nutrients are easy to get from regular foods you already know and love. A breakfast with scrambled eggs, some spinach on the side, or a piece of grilled salmon at dinner can make a huge difference. And for those who live in colder states like Minnesota or Maine, where sunlight is limited, a safe vitamin D supplement can be a game changer. Throughout this video, I'll show you how to spot the early warning signs of vitamin deficiencies. I'll share the best food sources, the right daily amounts for people over 60, and when you might consider talking to your doctor about supplements. I'll also reveal how these vitamins work together, because taking calcium alone, for example, won't help much if your body is low on vitamin D or magnesium. It's all about balance. I encourage you to stay with me until the end, because one small change, like adding the right vitamin-rich food to your lunch, can be the turning point that helps you stay independent and confident. Imagine being able to climb stairs, play with your grandkids, or walk around your favorite park without fear or hesitation. That's what this is all about, giving you back the freedom to enjoy every step you take. Before we dive into these 7 powerful vitamins, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from? Are you from a sunny state like Arizona or somewhere colder like Michigan? Drop a comment below and tell me about your biggest leg health challenge. I promise, by the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge and tools to make your legs stronger, steadier, and more reliable than they've been in years. So, let's get started, because every day you wait is another day your legs might be sending out quiet warnings. The sooner we fix these deficiencies, the sooner you can walk with confidence again. As we age, it's common to notice that our legs don't feel as strong or steady as they once did. Maybe you found yourself avoiding stairs because they feel like too much work. Or you catch yourself grabbing the railing just in case you trip. You might even notice your legs getting tired after just a short walk, something that never used to happen when you were younger. If this sounds like you, it's important to know that you're not alone. Many people over 60 experience this. But the good news is that it's often not a permanent condition. In fact, there's a lot we can do to rebuild strength and confidence in your legs. One of the biggest reasons our legs lose power isn't just age, it's because of subtle changes in our body that happen over time. For example, muscle mass naturally starts to decrease around our 40s and 50s in a process called sarcopenia. Without regular strength-building activities, the legs are often the first to feel the effects. That's why tasks like standing up from a chair or stepping off a curb can suddenly feel harder. It's not because your body is failing you, but because it needs the right fuel, the proper vitamins and nutrients, to keep working smoothly. Think about your legs like the engine of a car. Even the best car in the world won't run well if it's missing key fluids like oil or coolant. The same is true for your body. If you're low on certain vitamins, like vitamin D, magnesium, or B12, your muscles, nerves, and bones simply won't perform their best. That's why you might notice your legs cramping at night or feeling weaker during the day. These are your body's warning signs that it's time to refuel. I once had a conversation with Linda, a retired teacher from Kentucky. She told me she felt like her legs were giving up on her. She loved walking around her neighborhood. But recently she had started avoiding it because her legs would cramp after just a few blocks. When we looked at her diet and lifestyle, it became clear she was missing out on several critical nutrients. After just a few weeks of adding vitamin-rich foods and making small changes, she was walking daily again, feeling stronger and more secure with every step. Stories like Linda's remind me that our bodies are incredibly resilient, they just need the right support. Another factor is that as we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing vitamins and minerals from food. That's why even if you think you're eating healthy, you might still be falling short. For example, the stomach produces less acid over time, which makes it harder to absorb vitamin B12. Or, as we spend more time indoors, we produce less vitamin D from sunlight. These small changes add up and can affect your balance, reflexes, and even your confidence when walking or standing. It's also worth mentioning that certain medications can deplete key nutrients. Blood pressure pills, antacids, and even some diabetes medications can lower magnesium or potassium levels, two minerals that are critical for muscle function. That's why seniors often experience cramps or twitching without realizing the root cause. So, what can you do? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to how your legs feel on a daily basis. Do you experience cramps at night? Do your legs feel heavy or weak after standing? Are you hesitant to climb stairs or walk across uneven surfaces? These small signals can tell you a lot about what your body needs. In the upcoming sections, we'll dive into the 7 most powerful vitamins and minerals that can help restore strength, prevent cramps, and keep your legs steady. These nutrients are like the building blocks of mobility. With the right combination, you can feel stronger, more stable, and confident in every step. For now, I want you to remember one simple truth: losing leg power is not inevitable. It's not a sign that you should stop being active or settle for less independence. With the right nutrition and gentle exercises, you can reclaim your strength at any age. I've seen men and women in their 70s and 80s improve their leg power simply by making smart choices about what they eat and how they move. One simple tip to start with today: stay hydrated. Dehydration can make cramps and weakness worse because your muscles need fluids to work properly. Add a pinch of natural salt or a slice of lemon to your water if plain water feels boring. Also, make sure you're eating a balanced mix of protein, healthy fats, and colorful vegetables, even before we get into the specific vitamins. These basic steps can set a strong foundation for better leg health. Over the next chapters, we'll explore each nutrient in detail, starting with vitamin D, your body's balance booster, so you can take action step by step. Think of it like a roadmap. By the time we reach the end, you'll have a clear plan to keep your legs strong, flexible, and ready for anything. When your legs feel weak, stiff, or unsteady, the first thought many people have is, well, I guess I'm just getting old. But here's the truth: aging alone doesn't make your legs give out. What really happens is that your body gradually runs low on the building blocks it needs to stay strong. These building blocks are essential vitamins and minerals. And when even one of them drops below a healthy level, your muscles, bones, and nerves can start to misfire. The frustrating part is that most people don't even realize this is happening. These silent deficiencies can creep in over years, long before the first sign of a cramp or the first time you feel your balance slipping. I remember having a chat with Bill, a retired mechanic from Michigan, who told me, "Doc, I just thought I was wearing out like an old car." Bill had been feeling a dull ache in his calves and his knees wobbled whenever he tried to get out of his pickup truck. He wasn't overweight, and he didn't have any major health problems. But after looking closer, we found he was severely low on vitamin D and magnesium, two of the most common deficiencies in adults over 60. within 2 months of adding the right foods and a simple daily supplement. Bill told me, "I feel like someone gave me new tires. My legs aren't shaky anymore." That's the kind of difference we're talking about when you correct these hidden deficiencies. Why are deficiencies so common after 60? Our bodies change in subtle but important ways as we age. For example, our skin loses its ability to produce vitamin D efficiently from sunlight. Even if you spend time outside, you might not be making enough vitamin D to keep your muscles and bones strong. Similarly, our stomach acid levels drop, which makes it harder to absorb vitamin B12 and other nutrients from food. Add to this the fact that many seniors eat less or avoid certain foods due to digestive issues, and you have the perfect recipe for deficiencies. Another major factor is medication. Common drugs for blood pressure, heartburn, and diabetes can drain vital minerals like potassium and magnesium from the body. If you've ever noticed sudden leg cramps or tingling sensations after starting a new prescription, this could be why. It's not always the medication itself that's causing the discomfort, it's the nutrient depletion that happens over time. Warning signs your body is missing key nutrients. Your body has a clever way of telling you when something is missing. You just have to know what to look for. Here are some signs of hidden vitamin deficiencies that affect your legs. Frequent leg cramps at night. This can point to low magnesium, potassium, or calcium. Tired, heavy legs after short walks. This might be linked to vitamin D deficiency or poor circulation. Tingling, numbness, or burning in the feet. A lack of vitamin B12 is often the culprit here. Unsteady balance or slow reflexes. Low vitamin D and B vitamins can affect your nervous system. Aches or stiffness in your calves or thighs. This could be linked to low magnesium or vitamin K. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, don't just brush them off as normal aging. Your body could be sending you a clear message that it needs a nutritional tune-up. Why food isn't always enough? You might be thinking, "I eat healthy, so I should be fine." But even with a balanced diet, it's surprisingly easy to miss the mark. For example, the average American diet doesn't have nearly enough leafy greens to provide adequate magnesium or vitamin K, and unless you're eating fatty fish like salmon or sardines several times a week, you're likely not getting enough vitamin D from food alone. Take potassium as another example. We often think bananas are enough, but you'd need to eat several bananas a day to hit the recommended levels. Other potassium-rich foods like sweet potatoes, beans, and avocados can help, but most people simply don't eat enough of these to make up for the shortfall. That's why many seniors benefit from targeted supplementation, especially when certain deficiencies are confirmed by blood tests. How deficiencies affect your daily life. A simple lack of nutrients can have a ripple effect on your day-to-day life. For instance, without enough vitamin D, your muscles may feel weaker, making it harder to get out of bed in the morning. Low magnesium can lead to night cramps, disrupting your sleep and leaving you tired the next day. B12 deficiency can slow your reflexes, making you feel less steady when walking on uneven ground. Over time, these small issues build up, leading to a loss of confidence in your mobility, something no one should have to accept. I once worked with a couple, Tom and Elaine, from Florida. They loved going on evening walks together, but Elaine started avoiding them because her legs would cramp halfway through. Tom said, "We thought this was just part of growing older." It turned out Elaine had a combination of low potassium and magnesium levels. Within a month of adding potassium-rich foods like baked potatoes and a gentle magnesium supplement, Elaine was walking pain-free again. The look of relief on her face was unforgettable. It was as if she got a part of her life back. A simple first step before you start taking supplements. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to your body and keep track of any symptoms, even mild ones like muscle twitching or tired legs. If you notice these signs, Ask your doctor for a basic blood test to check levels of vitamin D, B12, calcium, and magnesium. These tests are simple, and they can give you a clear picture of what your body needs. But don't worry, you don't need complicated or expensive solutions. Most deficiencies can be corrected with small, smart changes to your diet and, if necessary, safe supplements. Imagine how much better you could feel if your legs were no longer cramping at night. If you could climb stairs without that shaky feeling. Or if you could enjoy a walk without worrying about your balance. In the next section, we'll start with vitamin D, the balance booster that plays a critical role in keeping your legs strong, steady, and free from cramps. This vitamin is often called the sunshine vitamin, and for good reason. It has the power to transform your leg health in ways most people don't realize. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin, but I like to think of it as the foundation of your strength and balance. If you want to keep your legs steady and free of cramps, this vitamin is where you start. I've met countless seniors who think they're simply losing strength because of age, only to discover that they're actually low on vitamin D, and once we fix that, they feel like they've gained years of energy and mobility back. Why vitamin D matters for your legs. Vitamin D is essential for both your muscles and bones. Without it, your muscles can feel weak and your reflexes slow. This vitamin plays a crucial role in protein synthesis, which means it helps your muscles repair and grow stronger. It also supports neuromuscular function, ensuring that the messages from your brain to your legs are delivered quickly and accurately. Think of it like the wiring in a house. If the wiring is faulty, the lights flicker or turn off. Without vitamin D, your wiring, the connection between nerves and muscles, doesn't work properly. That's why a deficiency often shows up as wobbly legs, poor balance, or a slow reaction when you start to trip. For older adults, that could mean the difference between catching yourself and falling. Vitamin D is also essential for calcium absorption. Even if you're drinking milk or taking calcium supplements, it won't matter much if your vitamin D levels are low because your body won't be able to use that calcium effectively. In short, vitamin D is like the key that unlocks strength, balance, and bone health. The silent epidemic of vitamin D deficiency. One of the most surprising things I've learned over the years is just how many seniors are deficient in vitamin D without realizing it. Our bodies naturally produce vitamin D when sunlight hits the skin. But after 60, our skin becomes less efficient at this process. Combine that with less time spent outdoors, especially during winter months, and it's no wonder that vitamin D deficiency is incredibly common in the US. I remember speaking with Jane, a 67-year-old grandmother from Arizona. You'd think with all that sunshine, vitamin D wouldn't be an issue. But Jane was avoiding direct sunlight because of concerns about skin damage. And she almost never ate foods high in vitamin D. She complained of tired, aching legs and feeling off balance while walking. A simple blood test showed her vitamin D levels were half of what they should be. After adding a daily D3 supplement and enjoying short walks in the early morning sun, Jane told me, "I feel steadier. Like my legs are mine again." How vitamin D boosts balance and reflexes. There's solid science behind the link between vitamin D and mobility. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that older adults with healthy vitamin D levels had stronger fast-twitch muscle fibers, the kind you need for quick reflexes and balance. These are the muscles that catch you when you start to stumble or when you quickly change direction. Without enough vitamin D, your reflexes slow down, increasing the risk of falls. Vitamin D also reduces muscle inflammation, which can ease the stiffness and nighttime cramps that many older adults struggle with. It's like oiling the hinges on a creaky door. Suddenly, everything moves more smoothly. Signs you may be low on vitamin D. If you've been feeling any of the following, vitamin D might be the culprit. Persistent fatigue or weakness in your legs, nighttime cramps or unexplained leg aches, feeling unsteady when standing or climbing stairs, slower reflexes or trouble regaining balance after tripping, frequent colds or low immunity, since vitamin D supports your immune system. The best way to know for sure is with a blood test measuring 25-hydroxyvitamin D, 25-OHD. Many doctors now check this routinely for patients over 60. And for good reason. How to get enough vitamin D? There are three primary sources of vitamin D: sunlight, food, and supplements. 1. Sunlight. Just 15 to 30 minutes of early morning sun on your arms and legs, before 9 a.m. when the rays are gentle, can help your body produce a healthy amount of vitamin D. The key is to avoid sunscreen during those first few minutes, as it blocks the process. You can always apply it afterward for protection. 2. Food. While not many foods are naturally rich in vitamin D, a few stand out. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are excellent sources. Egg yolks and fortified dairy products, like milk and yogurt, also provide a good boost. For plant lovers, sun-dried mushrooms are a surprising source of vitamin D. 3. Supplements. If you live in a northern state like Minnesota or Vermont, or simply don't get outside much, supplements are often the most reliable option. Most seniors benefit from 800 to 1.000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. Those with severe deficiencies may need 2.000 IU daily for a short period. But this should always be done under a doctor's guidance. Vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, is generally more effective than D2. A simple daily routine. Here's a routine I often recommend. Start your day with a short 10 to 15 minute walk outside. Not only will this help you produce vitamin D, but walking itself strengthens your legs. Include a vitamin D-rich food at lunch or dinner. Something as simple as grilled salmon or scrambled eggs can make a big difference. Consider taking your vitamin D supplement with your largest meal of the day, since it's fat-soluble and absorbs better with healthy fats, like avocado or olive oil. The power of vitamin D partnerships. Vitamin D works best when it's paired with other nutrients, especially calcium and vitamin K2. Think of them as teammates. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium. Calcium strengthens bones. Vitamin K2 ensures calcium is directed into your bones rather than your arteries, where it doesn't belong. This trio forms the foundation of strong, flexible legs. Without all three, your efforts can fall short. Final thoughts on vitamin D. If you want to start anywhere on your journey to stronger legs, start with vitamin D. It's simple, affordable, and life-changing when you get it right. I've seen seniors go from feeling shaky and unsure on their feet to confidently walking their dogs, climbing stairs, or even getting back to dancing at family events, all because they addressed this one vitamin. In the next section, we'll look at calcium, not just for bones, but also for the muscle signals that power every step you take. When it comes to keeping your legs strong, the sun is one of the simplest and most powerful tools available. I often tell my patients, if you want to feel younger and steadier, start with a little sunshine. That's because the sun triggers your body to produce vitamin D, the very nutrient we discussed in the last section, which acts like a natural switch for muscle power, reflexes, and overall leg stability. But here's the thing. Many older adults don't get nearly enough sunlight for their bodies to make adequate vitamin D between spending more time indoors, avoiding the sun for fear of skin damage, and living in areas with long winters. It's no surprise that vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in the US, especially among people over 60. This deficiency quietly chips away at muscle strength and coordination, often without you even realizing it. The sunshine movement connection. I like to think of sunshine as a double blessing for leg health. First, it helps your body produce vitamin D, which we know is vital for muscle strength. Second, just getting outside for a few minutes encourages gentle movement, walking, gardening, or even just standing and stretching, which all help your muscles stay active. I remember visiting my friend Martha in Florida. At 72, she used to walk along the beach every morning, soaking up the early sun. But after she started avoiding the sun because of skin concerns, she told me she felt more sluggish and noticed her balance wasn't what it used to be. We worked on finding a safe middle ground, just 15 to 20 minutes of early morning sunshine before 9 a.m. with a hat and light clothing. Within weeks, she told me, "I feel more alive, like my muscles woke up again." Why morning sun is best? The time of day matters when it comes to sun exposure. The best time is usually early in the morning or late afternoon, when the UV rays are softer and less harmful. A short walk or some light stretches on the porch during these hours can do wonders. The goal is not to tan, but to give your skin just enough exposure to generate vitamin D. For most people, 15 to 30 minutes of sun on the arms and legs, a few times a week, is enough. If you have lighter skin, you may only need 10 to 15 minutes. If your skin is darker, you may need a bit longer, as melanin naturally blocks some of the sun's UV rays. Pairing sunlight with movement. Sunlight alone is powerful, but when paired with movement, it's like a double shot of strength for your legs. A slow, steady walk in the morning not only boosts vitamin D production but also works your muscles and joints in a gentle, natural way. Imagine this. Instead of starting your day hunched over your phone or sitting on the couch, you step outside, feel the cool breeze, and take a 15-minute walk. The sunlight hits your skin, your muscles wake up, your blood starts circulating, and you feel more energized and stable. Over time, this small habit can dramatically improve how your legs feel. The role of sunlight in muscle recovery. Sunlight isn't just about vitamin D. Research shows that regular, moderate exposure to sunlight helps reduce inflammation in the body. For older adults, this means less stiffness, faster muscle recovery, and fewer aches after simple activities like walking or gardening. I once worked with Dan, a retired coach from North Carolina. He had been avoiding outdoor activities due to joint pain and fear of falling. We started small, 5 minutes of sunshine each morning while he did some easy stretches on his patio. Within a month, he not only felt stronger but noticed that his post-walk soreness had decreased significantly. "It's like my legs don't complain as much anymore," he told me. That's the power of combining sunshine and movement. What if you can't get outside? Not everyone can spend time outdoors every day. Maybe you live in a northern state like Michigan or Maine, where winters are long and gray. Or maybe your schedule doesn't allow for regular morning walks. In these cases, you'll need to rely on a combination of vitamin D-rich foods and supplements to make up the difference. Foods like salmon, sardines, egg yolks, and fortified dairy are excellent choices. For supplements, vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, is generally more effective than D2. Always take it with a meal that includes some healthy fat, like avocado or olive oil, to help your body absorb it better. A quick routine for sunshine and strength. Here's a simple morning routine I recommend. Step outside for 10 to 15 minutes in the early morning light. Do 3 to 5 minutes of easy leg stretches or slow marching to get your blood moving. Eat a vitamin D-rich breakfast, like scrambled eggs with spinach or fortified oatmeal. This small routine can help you start your day with energy and give your muscles the nutrients they need to perform. Don't forget protection. While we want sunlight, we also want to avoid overexposure. If you're going to be outside for more than 20 to 30 minutes, especially during midday, apply a light sunscreen on your face and neck. A wide-brimmed hat can also protect you without interfering with vitamin D production on your arms and legs. Your next step. The sun is free, natural, and available almost every day. Yet so many people overlook its benefits for muscle and bone health. By combining short bursts of sunshine with a few simple foods, you can give your legs a big boost in strength and stability. Next, we'll dive deeper into calcium, not just for bones, but also for the muscle contractions that power every step you take. When most people think of calcium, they picture strong, dense bones, and that's true. But calcium's role in your body goes far beyond just bone strength. Every single time you stand up, climb stairs, or even take a step, calcium is quietly at work, helping your muscles contract and relax. Without enough calcium, your muscles can't respond properly, and your bones lose the density they need to support your weight. The result? Weak legs, cramps, and a higher risk of falls. Calcium's double role: bones and muscles. Think of your body as a house. Your bones are the framework, and calcium is the cement holding it all together. But here's something few people know. Calcium is also part of the electric wiring that makes your muscles work. Each time your brain sends a signal to your leg muscles, whether to stand up, climb a stair, or keep your balance, calcium helps carry that signal. If calcium levels are low, those signals get scrambled. This can show up as shaky legs, muscle spasms, or even that feeling of heaviness when you try to walk a short distance. I've had patients who thought their leg weakness was due to aging, only to find that a simple boost of calcium, along with vitamin D, made a world of difference. Why calcium deficiency is common after 60. After 50, our bodies start to lose bone mass faster than we build it. For women, this speeds up after menopause due to hormonal changes. This makes getting enough calcium even more critical. But here's the tricky part: as we age, our gut becomes less efficient at absorbing calcium from food. Plus, certain medications, like antacids or steroids, can block calcium absorption. I remember working with Helen, a 65-year-old retired nurse from Ohio. She told me, "I used to be strong enough to carry my grandkids around the yard, but now my knees feel like jelly." A bone density test revealed early signs of osteoporosis, and her blood test showed low calcium levels. We developed a plan that included calcium-rich foods, vitamin D for absorption, and gentle weight-bearing exercises. Within a few months, Helen noticed she could get out of her chair with much less effort and had fewer cramps at night. Calcium and the risk of falls. Weak bones are dangerous, but weak muscles can be just as risky. Together, they make falls more likely and recovery more difficult. If your calcium levels are low, your bones become brittle, and even a small stumble can lead to fractures. This is one of the leading reasons seniors lose their independence. A single hip fracture can change everything. But here's the good news: calcium combined with vitamin D can significantly reduce the risk of falls and fractures. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium and directs it to your bones, while calcium keeps your bones and muscles working in harmony. Best sources of calcium. The first step to improving your calcium levels is through food. While supplements can help, food sources are easier for your body to use and carry fewer risks. Top calcium-rich foods include dairy products, milk, yogurt, and cheese are classic options. Leafy greens, kale, bok choy, collard greens, and spinach. Fish with edible bones, sardines and canned salmon. Fortified foods, almond milk, soy milk, and some breakfast cereals. Nuts and seeds, almonds and sesame seeds. Tofu, especially if it's calcium set. One simple trick I often recommend is adding a sprinkle of shredded cheese to your vegetables or including a handful of almonds as a snack. These small daily habits add up over time. When supplements are needed. For some people, food alone isn't enough, especially if you have a restricted diet or trouble digesting dairy. In these cases, a calcium supplement can be useful. The recommended daily intake for adults over 50. 1.000 milligrams for men, ages 51 to 70. 1.200 milligrams for women, 51 plus years, and men, 71 plus years. But be careful with supplements. Taking too much calcium, especially without vitamin D or vitamin K2, can lead to calcium building up in your arteries instead of your bones. This is why I always suggest combining calcium with vitamin D for absorption and vitamin K2 to direct calcium to bones. Calcium timing and absorption. Did you know that your body can only absorb about 500 milligrams of calcium at a time? This means it's better to split your calcium intake into 2 or 3 smaller doses throughout the day rather than taking one big pill. Also, calcium is absorbed best when taken with a meal. A simple routine might look like this. A cup of yogurt with breakfast, around 300 milligrams. A salad with kale or spinach for lunch, another 200 milligrams. A glass of fortified almond milk at dinner, about 300 milligrams. This gets you close to your daily goal without needing a large supplement. Signs you might be low on calcium. Your body often gives clues when it's running low on calcium. Frequent leg cramps or muscle spasms. Weak or brittle nails. Tingling in your fingers or toes. Achy legs or bones. Difficulty standing up or climbing stairs. If you notice these symptoms, it's worth discussing with your doctor and possibly getting a blood test to check your calcium levels. Why exercise matters. Even if you have perfect calcium levels, your body needs a signal to build stronger bones. That signal is movement, especially weight-bearing exercises. Activities like walking, light resistance training, yoga, or even slow dancing help your bones know that they need to stay strong. Without exercise, your body won't send calcium to the right places. I often tell my patients, you can drink all the milk in the world, but if you're sitting all day, your bones and muscles won't get stronger. Something as simple as a 20-minute walk around your block or gentle squats while holding a chair can make a real difference. Your action plan. To keep your legs strong, aim for a mix of calcium-rich foods and vitamin D every day. Pair these with gentle, regular exercise, and you'll create a foundation of strength that supports every step you take. Next, we'll explore another mineral that works hand in hand with calcium, magnesium. The cramp fighter that keeps your muscles relaxed and your legs moving smoothly. If calcium is the building block for strong bones, then vitamin K2 is the traffic director, making sure that calcium goes where it belongs. Without K2, even the best calcium supplement can end up in the wrong places, like your arteries or joints, instead of strengthening your bones. And when calcium is not properly directed, it can lead to stiffness, cramps, or worse, conditions like arterial calcification that put your health at risk. Why calcium needs vitamin K2? Most people know about calcium and vitamin D, but very few talk about K2, and that's a big mistake. Vitamin K2 activates a protein called osteocalcin, which binds calcium to your bone structure, making it stronger and more resilient. Without enough K2, calcium can wander into soft tissues, contributing to stiffness and even painful joint issues. Think of it like this. If calcium is the bricks of your house, vitamin D is the delivery truck, but K2 is the construction manager who ensures the bricks are stacked where they should be, not dumped in the driveway. Without the manager, your house, or in this case, your bones and muscles, won't get built correctly. The role of K2 in leg strength. Strong legs aren't just about muscle, they're about stable bones, flexible joints, and smooth movement. Vitamin K2 helps on all fronts. It ensures that the calcium you're consuming is strengthening your bones instead of causing stiffness or unwanted deposits. A study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that seniors who consumed enough vitamin K had better bone density and were significantly less likely to experience fractures. For older adults, that's not just a statistic. It's the difference between staying active or facing months of recovery from a simple fall. K2 versus K1, what's the difference? Many people confuse vitamin K1 and K2 because they share a similar name. But they play different roles. Vitamin K1 is found in leafy greens and helps with blood clotting. Vitamin K2, on the other hand, is the form that's essential for bone health and calcium management, while K1 can be converted to K2 in the body. The process is inefficient. That's why it's important to get enough K2 directly from foods or supplements. Best food sources of vitamin K2. The good news is that vitamin K2 can be found in a few common foods, though it's not as widely available as K1. Here are some of the best options. Natto, a Japanese fermented soybean dish, the richest source of K2. Aged cheeses, like Gouda or Brie. Egg yolks, especially from pasture-raised chickens. Chicken, beef liver, and other organ meats. Butter from grass-fed cows. If natto sounds too unusual for your taste, simply adding eggs or a slice of aged cheese to your daily diet can make a difference. Signs you might be low on vitamin K2. Unlike other deficiencies, K2 is harder to spot because the symptoms develop slowly over time. However, you might be at risk if you notice stiff knees or joints that don't feel as flexible as before. Weak or brittle nails, which can be a sign of poor calcium utilization. Unexplained muscle aches, even when you're not overexerting yourself. A history of fractures or early osteoporosis. If you're already taking calcium or vitamin D but still notice weakness or stiffness in your legs, low K2 could be the missing link. How much K2 do you need? There is no official daily requirement for K2 like there is for calcium. But most experts recommend at least 90 to 120 mcg per day for adults. Some studies suggest that higher amounts, 200 mcg or more, can have additional benefits for bone strength and cardiovascular health. Combining calcium, vitamin D and K2. One of the best ways to ensure you're getting all three nutrients is by pairing your meals thoughtfully. For example, a breakfast of scrambled eggs, with K2 in the yolks, and fortified orange juice, with calcium and vitamin D, is a simple way to start your day with all three. Add a small serving of aged cheese to your lunch or dinner, and you're well on your way. The dangers of skipping K2 when taking calcium. One mistake I see often is people taking calcium supplements without K2. Over time, this can increase the risk of calcium hardening in places it shouldn't, like arteries. This is why I always recommend a balanced approach. Calcium provides the strength. Vitamin D helps your body absorb it. Vitamin K2 ensures it's delivered to your bones. Skipping any of these steps is like building a house with no blueprint. The materials won't end up where they should. K2 for joint health and flexibility. There's also emerging research suggesting that vitamin K2 helps maintain joint health by reducing low-grade inflammation. For seniors who often complain about stiffness after sitting for too long, this can be a game changer. One of my patients, Carl, a retired school principal from Illinois, started adding K2 to his daily routine through supplements and cheese. He told me, "I don't creak like an old floorboard anymore. Getting up from my chair is easier." A simple plan to start. Here's an easy way to incorporate K2 into your day. Breakfast, a couple of eggs with whole grain toast. Lunch, a green salad topped with shredded aged cheese. Dinner, grilled chicken with a side of steamed vegetables. These small choices provide a steady stream of K2, while also pairing well with calcium-rich foods. The next step for strong legs. Calcium and K2 are the perfect duo for building stronger, more stable legs. But they're only part of the story. The next nutrient we'll discuss, magnesium. The cramp fighter is equally critical. Without magnesium, even the best calcium routine won't give you the results you're looking for. If you've ever woken up in the middle of the night with a sudden Stabbing cramp in your calf. You know just how painful and frustrating it can be. These nighttime cramps are one of the most common complaints I hear from people over 60. And in many cases, they're caused by one quiet but powerful mineral, magnesium. Magnesium is like the conductor of an orchestra, ensuring that your muscles, nerves, and bones all work in harmony. Without enough magnesium, your muscles become overly sensitive, misfiring when they shouldn't, leading to cramps, twitching, and stiffness. I've seen countless patients who believed their leg cramps were just part of aging, only to find out that boosting their magnesium levels brought almost instant relief. Why magnesium is essential for your legs. Magnesium plays a crucial role in muscle contraction and relaxation. Every time your leg muscles contract, whether to take a step, stand up, or climb stairs, magnesium is involved in the process. When magnesium levels drop too low, muscles can contract uncontrollably, which is why cramps often occur. But magnesium doesn't just affect muscles. It's also essential for your nervous system. This mineral helps regulate the electrical signals that flow from your brain to your muscles. Without enough magnesium, those signals become erratic, leading to twitching, restlessness, or that unpleasant, heavy legs feeling after walking. The link between magnesium and calcium. Magnesium and calcium work together like partners. While calcium helps your muscles contract, magnesium ensures they relax afterward. Without enough magnesium, your muscles may lock up, which is why cramps can feel like your muscle is frozen in place. This balance is also important for your bones. Magnesium helps guide calcium into your bones where it belongs, preventing it from collecting in soft tissues or joints. This partnership reduces stiffness and improves both strength and flexibility. Why seniors often lack magnesium. As we get older, magnesium deficiency becomes more common for several reasons. Dietary gaps. Many older adults don't eat enough magnesium-rich foods, like leafy greens and nuts. Medications, diuretics, heartburn drugs, and blood pressure medications can deplete magnesium. Stress. Chronic stress drains magnesium levels faster. Digestive changes. Our bodies become less efficient at absorbing minerals from food. I once spoke with Frank, a retired postman from Georgia, who said he couldn't sleep because his legs cramped every night. He had been drinking plenty of water, thinking dehydration was the problem. But it didn't help. After reviewing his diet, we added more magnesium-rich foods, almonds, spinach, and whole grains, plus a small magnesium glycinate supplement. Within 10 days, Frank said, I slept through the night for the first time in months, and I feel lighter on my feet. Signs of magnesium deficiency. Magnesium deficiency can show up in subtle ways, but there are signs to look for. Nighttime cramps or spasms in your calves or feet. Muscle stiffness or difficulty relaxing your legs. Tingling or numbness in your feet. Restless legs at night. Fatigue or feeling heavy-legged after minimal activity. If you recognize these symptoms, it's worth paying attention to your magnesium intake. Best food sources of magnesium. Fortunately, nature gives us plenty of delicious options to boost magnesium. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. Nuts and seeds, almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, and flax seeds. Whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, and oats. Legumes, black beans, chickpeas, and lentils. Avocados and bananas both offer a mix of magnesium and potassium. Dark chocolate, 70% or higher, a healthy treat with a magnesium bonus. A single handful of almonds, about 30 grams, provides nearly 20% of your daily magnesium needs. When to consider magnesium supplements. While food should always be your first choice, some people struggle to get enough magnesium through diet alone, especially if they're taking medications that deplete it. In these cases, supplements can help. The most recommended forms of magnesium for older adults are magnesium glycinate, gentle on the stomach and easily absorbed. Magnesium citrate, also highly absorbable and often used to ease muscle tension. The recommended daily intake for adults over 50 is 320 to 420 milligrams. Depending on gender and overall health. Tips for safe magnesium use. Take magnesium with meals to improve absorption. Start with a lower dose, 100 to 200 milligrams, if you're using supplements. And increase gradually. Too much magnesium, especially from supplements, can cause diarrhea or upset stomach. If you have kidney problems, consult your doctor before taking magnesium. A quick evening routine to prevent cramps. One of my favorite tips is what I call the evening magnesium reset. Dinner. Include a magnesium-rich food like steamed spinach or black beans. Snack. A few slices of avocado or a piece of dark chocolate. Before bed. A warm bath with Epsom salt, which contains magnesium sulfate, can relax your muscles and prepare you for restful sleep. Many seniors have told me this simple routine has made their nights cramp-free and their mornings easier. Your legs deserve the relief. Magnesium is like a quiet hero. You might not notice it when levels are normal. But when it's missing, your body lets you know through cramps, stiffness, and fatigue. By giving your body this essential mineral, you're not just preventing pain, you're improving your mobility and confidence with every step. Next, we'll look at potassium, the muscle gatekeeper that controls nerve signals and keeps your legs strong and responsive. Few things are more frustrating than being jolted awake by a sudden, sharp cramp in your leg. It feels like someone tied a rope inside your calf and pulled it tight. You try to move, but the pain freezes you in place for what feels like an eternity. Nighttime leg cramps are incredibly common in adults over 60. And while they might seem like a normal part of aging, they are almost always a sign that something in your body is off balance, especially when it comes to minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium. Why nighttime cramps happen? At night, your body is in a state of rest, and your muscles are recovering from the day's activities. But when there's a shortage of certain minerals or fluids, your muscle fibers can contract involuntarily. Think of your muscles like tiny ropes with pulleys, without enough magnesium and potassium to relax the rope. The muscle locks up. Another reason cramps happen more at night is because blood circulation slows when you lie down. If your body is already low in magnesium or potassium, this reduced circulation can make muscle contractions more likely. Dehydration is another common culprit if you're not drinking enough water throughout the day. Your muscles become more prone to cramping. Mineral imbalances are the biggest trigger. Magnesium. We already talked about magnesium as the cramp fighter. If you're low on this mineral, your muscles don't get the signal to relax after contracting. This leads to sudden, sharp cramps. Potassium. Potassium helps regulate electrical signals in your muscles. When potassium levels drop, those signals misfire, causing sudden spasms. Calcium. Calcium isn't just for bones, it also controls the contraction and relaxation of muscles. A deficiency can make your muscles overreact and cramp up. When these three nutrients are out of balance, it's like a traffic jam in your muscles. Fixing this balance often brings relief within days or weeks. Real-life example, Mary's story. I remember Mary, a 70-year-old grandmother from North Carolina, who told me she dreaded going to bed because the cramps in her calves would wake her up almost every night. She'd rub her legs for half an hour before the pain would subside. We looked at her diet and discovered she wasn't getting enough potassium or magnesium, no leafy greens, no bananas, no nuts. After just 2 weeks of adding magnesium-rich spinach and a baked potato with dinner, plus a simple magnesium supplement, Mary called me and said, "I slept through the night for the first time in months." Foods that fight nighttime cramps. The best way to prevent cramps is by eating foods that are rich in muscle-friendly minerals. Bananas, famous for potassium, but also provide magnesium. Sweet potatoes, packed with potassium and fiber. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, high in magnesium and calcium. Almonds or cashews, provide magnesium and healthy fats. Avocados, contain both potassium and magnesium. Yogurt or milk, a natural source of calcium and potassium. Adding these foods to your daily meals is one of the simplest ways to reduce nighttime cramps naturally. The role of hydration. Many people underestimate how much dehydration contributes to cramps. Muscles need water and electrolytes to contract and relax properly. If you're not drinking enough water during the day, especially in hot weather, your risk of cramps skyrockets. Simple tip: drink a glass of water before bed. But don't overdo it to the point of disturbing your sleep with bathroom trips. Adding a pinch of sea salt or drinking coconut water can help restore electrolyte balance as well. Gentle stretches before bed. Stretching your legs before sleep is another effective strategy. Just 5 minutes of simple stretches can improve blood circulation and loosen tight muscles. Calf stretch. Stand facing a wall. Place your hands on the wall and step 1 foot back. Hold for 20 seconds. Then switch legs. Hamstring stretch. Sit on the edge of your bed. Extend one leg straight and gently lean forward until you feel a stretch. I've had patients tell me that doing these stretches while watching TV before bed has almost completely eliminated their cramps. When supplements help. If your diet isn't enough to fix the issue, magnesium or potassium supplements can help. However, potassium supplements should be used carefully, especially if you have kidney problems or take certain medications like diuretics or heart meds. Always check with your doctor before starting potassium pills. Magnesium glycinate is often the safest choice for most seniors. It's well absorbed and gentle on the stomach. Taking it with dinner or an evening snack can help relax your muscles before bed. The night cramp prevention plan. Here's a simple plan to follow each evening. Dinner. Include at least 1 potassium-rich food, sweet potato or avocado, and 1 magnesium-rich food, spinach or beans. Hydration. Drink a glass of water with a pinch of natural salt or a splash of coconut water. Stretch. Spend 5 minutes on calf and hamstring stretches. Supplement. If recommended, take a magnesium capsule, 100 to 200 milligrams, with dinner. This routine, combined with a balanced diet, has helped countless seniors regain peaceful, cramp-free sleep. A quick word about overdoing it. While magnesium and potassium are essential, too much can be harmful, especially supplements. Excessive magnesium can cause digestive issues, while too much potassium can affect heart rhythm if your kidneys can't filter it properly. That's why I always say, start with food first. If you need more, then consider supplements under medical advice. What's next? Nighttime cramps can make you feel older than you are, but they're often one of the easiest issues to fix. By adjusting your diet, staying hydrated, and gently stretching, you can sleep peacefully again. Next, we'll dive into potassium, the muscle gatekeeper that plays a critical role in controlling nerve signals and keeping your legs steady and responsive. Potassium might not get as much attention as calcium or vitamin D, but it's one of the most powerful nutrients for keeping your legs strong and free of painful cramps. I like to call it the muscle gatekeeper, because potassium controls the flow of electrical signals between your nerves and muscles. Without enough potassium, those signals become weak or erratic, and that's when cramps, muscle weakness, or sudden giving out of your legs can happen. Why potassium matters for your legs? Every time you take a step, potassium helps your muscles contract and relax in the proper sequence. It ensures that the messages from your brain reach your muscle fibers smoothly, allowing you to walk steadily and maintain balance. When your potassium levels drop, your muscles can misfire, contracting when they shouldn't, which leads to cramps or a sensation of shaky legs. Potassium also plays a big role in fluid balance within your cells. If your potassium is too low, your muscles can become dehydrated from the inside out, making them prone to stiffness or fatigue. Think of potassium like the battery fluid of your muscles. Without it, your energy and coordination start to fail. How low potassium feels. When potassium is low, the symptoms often creep up slowly. Muscle cramps, especially after mild activity or during the night. Weakness or fatigue in your legs, even after short walks or standing for a few minutes. Shaky steps, a feeling that your legs might give out unexpectedly. Tingling or numbness in your feet or calves. Increased risk of falls, because low potassium can delay reflexes and slow your reaction time. I remember Joe, a 68-year-old retired truck driver from Iowa, who came to me complaining that his legs would suddenly freeze or cramp after walking just a few blocks. After reviewing his diet, I discovered he wasn't getting nearly enough potassium, barely half the recommended amount. We added simple food swaps like baked potatoes, beans, and avocado into his meals. Within 3 weeks, Joe said, "Doc, I feel like someone oiled my joints. My steps are smoother and stronger." Why seniors are prone to potassium deficiency. There are a few reasons why older adults often struggle with potassium. Diuretics or blood pressure medications. These can flush potassium out of the body. Low fruit and vegetable intake. Many seniors don't eat enough potassium-rich foods daily. Digestive issues. Problems like diarrhea or frequent urination can deplete potassium faster. Excessive caffeine or alcohol. Both can reduce the body's potassium stores. The good news? Correcting potassium levels can bring noticeable improvements in muscle control and energy within a short time. Best food sources of potassium. One common misconception is that bananas are the only source of potassium. While they are a good option, there are plenty of other foods with even higher potassium content. Top potassium-rich foods. Baked potatoes, with skin, nearly double the potassium of a banana. Sweet potatoes, excellent for both potassium and fiber. Avocados. A single avocado can give you 10 to 15% of your daily potassium needs. Leafy greens, spinach, Swiss chard, and beet greens. Beans and legumes, black beans, white beans, lentils. Coconut water, a natural, refreshing source of electrolytes. Oranges or orange juice, simple and effective for boosting potassium. I often suggest adding half a baked potato or a handful of beans to your dinner. It's an easy way to meet your potassium target. How much potassium do you need? According to the U.S. Institute of Medicine, women, about 2.600 milligrams of potassium per day. Men, about 3.400 milligrams per day. You can reach this easily by including 2 to 3 servings of potassium-rich vegetables or fruits in each meal. For example, a breakfast with orange juice, a lunch with beans, and a dinner with sweet potatoes can get you close to your daily needs. Should you take potassium supplements? Potassium supplements can be tricky because taking too much, especially if you have kidney issues, can lead to dangerous heart rhythm problems. That's why I always recommend food first as the safest source of potassium. Supplements should only be taken under medical supervision, particularly if you're on heart or blood pressure medications. The power of potassium for balance and strength. One fascinating fact about potassium is its role in bone health. As we age, our bodies can become slightly acidic due to diet and stress. This acidity causes calcium to leach from our bones, making them weaker. Potassium from fruits and vegetables helps neutralize this acidity, protecting both your bones and your muscles. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who ate potassium-rich diets had better bone density and fewer fractures. This means potassium isn't just preventing cramps, it's helping you maintain the foundation for strong, steady legs. A simple day of potassium-rich eating. Here's a sample meal plan that's naturally packed with potassium. Breakfast: orange juice and a slice of whole grain toast with avocado. Lunch: a salad with spinach, beans, and a sprinkle of feta cheese. Snack: a banana or a handful of dried apricots. Dinner: grilled chicken with roasted sweet potatoes and steamed greens. This combination easily provides 2.500 to 3.000 milligrams of potassium, covering most of your daily requirement. Pairing potassium with magnesium. Potassium works best when paired with magnesium. Together, they help regulate nerve impulses and muscle contractions, reducing cramps by up to 70%, according to a review in current rheumatology reports. That's why I often encourage people to eat foods that provide both, like nuts, seeds, and leafy greens. Quick tip for nighttime relief. If you struggle with nighttime cramps, try a simple potassium boost before bed, like a small banana, half an avocado, or a cup of coconut water. This can stabilize your muscle function overnight and help you sleep more comfortably. Next up, vitamin K, the bone director. While potassium is critical for muscle control, it's not the whole story. In the next section, we'll talk about vitamin K, the nutrient that ensures calcium is delivered exactly where it's needed, to your bones, while keeping your joints flexible and your arteries clear. When it comes to improving your leg strength and preventing cramps, getting enough potassium each day is crucial. But here's the truth. Most people don't hit their daily potassium targets simply because they're eating the wrong foods. The good news? You don't need a complicated diet plan. Small, smart food swaps can make a huge difference in boosting potassium levels and keeping your muscles and nerves working like they should. Why food swaps work so well? Our diets often lean heavily on foods that are filling but low in key minerals like potassium, think white bread, processed snacks, or fast food. These foods may satisfy hunger but leave your muscles undernourished. By replacing them with potassium-rich options, you're essentially fueling your body's batteries, giving your legs the power they need for balance and energy. Imagine trading just a few items in your meals each day, swapping white rice for quinoa, chips for roasted chickpeas, or margarine for avocado. These tiny changes can add hundreds of milligrams of potassium to your diet without you even noticing. Easy breakfast swaps. Breakfast is the perfect time to load up on potassium. Many traditional American breakfasts, like toast with butter or sugary cereal, provide little to no potassium. Instead, try these. Swap white toast for avocado toast. Avocados are one of the richest potassium sources. Half an avocado on whole grain bread can give you 500 to 600 milligrams of potassium. Replace sugary cereal with oatmeal topped with banana and nuts. Oatmeal provides magnesium, while the banana and nuts boost potassium levels. Add a glass of orange juice. A single glass contains around 400 milligrams of potassium and adds a refreshing start to your day. I once spoke with Cindy, a 65-year-old retired librarian, who struggled with morning stiffness in her legs. We switched her regular buttered toast for avocado toast and added a small banana with breakfast. She called me a week later and said, "I feel like I've swapped sluggish mornings for energy-filled ones." Lunch and snack swaps. Lunch is often where people grab quick, low-potassium options like sandwiches on white bread or processed snacks. With a few changes, you can load your midday meal with leg-friendly nutrients. Swap chips for roasted chickpeas or edamame. These are crunchy, satisfying, and full of potassium and magnesium. Replace iceberg lettuce with spinach or kale. Just 1 cup of raw spinach adds over 150 milligrams of potassium. Trade deli meats for salmon or tuna salad. Not only are these higher in potassium, but they also bring healthy fats for joint support. Add a side of fruit. Oranges, cantaloupe, or sliced kiwi all provide a natural potassium boost. Dinner swaps for maximum potassium. Dinner is your best opportunity to hit your potassium target. Instead of focusing on heavy, processed carbs, load up on vegetables and whole grains. Swap white rice for quinoa or brown rice. These options have more minerals and fiber. Trade French fries for roasted sweet potatoes. A medium sweet potato has over 500 milligrams of potassium, almost double that of a banana. Replace creamy sauces with mashed avocado or yogurt-based dressings. These not only add flavor but also extra potassium and calcium. Hydration with a twist. Potassium isn't just about food. Drinks can be a sneaky way to add or lose minerals. Sodas and sugary drinks offer zero potassium, while natural beverages like coconut water provide 400 to 600 milligrams per cup. A simple swap of soda for coconut water or freshly squeezed orange juice can help replenish electrolytes and keep your legs cramp-free. Smart dessert and snack choices. Even your sweet treats can be potassium-friendly. Swap ice cream for banana, nice cream. Just freeze bananas. Blend them. And add a splash of milk for a creamy, healthy dessert. Choose dark chocolate with almonds. Both chocolate, 70% or higher, and almonds are excellent sources of magnesium and potassium. Opt for dried fruits like apricots. A handful of dried apricots packs a big potassium punch. A one-day potassium plan. Here's an example of how simple swaps can help you easily exceed 2.600 to 3.000 milligrams of potassium in a single day. Breakfast. Avocado toast on whole grain bread plus orange juice, 600 to 700 milligrams. Snack. Banana and a handful of almonds, 500 milligrams. Lunch. Spinach salad with salmon, beans, and a side of kiwi, 900 milligrams. Dinner. Grilled chicken, roasted sweet potato, and steamed broccoli, 1.000 milligrams. Dessert. Banana, nice cream, or a few dried apricots, 300 milligrams. By the end of the day, you're at 3.000 plus mg of potassium, which is exactly where you want to be for strong, cramp-free legs. A word about balance. While potassium is vital, you need the right balance between potassium, magnesium, and sodium. If your sodium intake is too high, from processed foods or salty snacks, it can push potassium levels lower. That's why eating whole, unprocessed foods is so important. Real-life results. One of my patients, Tom, a retired teacher from Pennsylvania, used to wake up every night with painful leg cramps. We didn't overhaul his diet. We simply swapped his usual mashed potatoes for roasted sweet potatoes, switched his morning toast for avocado toast, and added a glass of coconut water in the afternoon. In less than 2 weeks, Tom reported, "No more cramps. I feel like my legs are lighter and stronger." Next step, vitamin K for bone and joint health. Potassium is a game changer for muscle control, but it works best when your bones and joints are healthy too. That's where vitamin K, the bone director, comes in. In the next section, we'll explore how vitamin K ensures calcium goes exactly where it should, into your bones, while keeping your joints flexible and pain-free. When people talk about strong legs, they usually think of calcium or vitamin D, but there's another nutrient that quietly determines how well your bones, joints, and muscles work together. Vitamin K, I like to call it the bone director, because it decides exactly where calcium should go in your body. Without enough vitamin K, calcium might not get deposited into your bones properly. Instead, it can end up in your arteries or joints, which not only weakens your bones but also causes stiffness and pain. Why vitamin K is essential for your legs. Vitamin K activates special proteins that bind calcium into your bone matrix, the strong, dense structure that keeps your legs stable and able to bear weight. Without vitamin K, calcium supplements or calcium-rich foods won't be fully effective. But vitamin K's benefits don't stop at bones. It also supports joint flexibility and muscle coordination. If you've ever felt your knees stiffen after sitting for a while or noticed that your legs don't move as smoothly as they used to, low vitamin K could be part of the reason. Vitamin K and fall prevention. Weak bones and poor balance are two major contributors to falls in older adults. Vitamin K strengthens both by directing calcium into bones, reducing the risk of fractures, supporting joint cartilage, which improves flexibility and range of motion, enhancing muscle coordination, ensuring smooth, steady movements. A study from Tufts University found that seniors who consumed enough vitamin K daily had up to 35% fewer fractures compared to those with low levels. That's a huge difference, and it can mean the ability to keep walking independently for years longer. Vitamin K1 versus vitamin K2. There are two main types of vitamin K and they play different roles. Vitamin K1, found in leafy greens like spinach and kale. It mainly supports blood clotting. Vitamin K2, found in fermented foods and animal products like cheese, egg yolks, and liver. This is the form that actively directs calcium to bones and away from soft tissues. While both are important, K2 is the powerhouse when it comes to bone strength and joint health. Unfortunately, K2 is not as common in most diets, which is why many people unknowingly miss out. Food sources of vitamin K. The easiest way to boost vitamin K is by eating a variety of green vegetables and certain animal-based foods. Best sources of K1: spinach, kale, collard greens, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Best sources of K2: aged cheeses, Gouda, Brie, cheddar, egg yolks, chicken thighs, natto, a Japanese fermented soybean dish, the richest natural source of K2. Grass-fed butter or liver. If natto isn't your taste, just a small serving of cheese or eggs a few times a week can significantly boost your vitamin K2 levels. Signs you might be low on vitamin K. Vitamin K deficiency is harder to spot than other nutrient deficiencies. But some signs include stiff or aching knees after sitting, difficulty bending or standing up due to joint discomfort, easy bruising or slow clotting when you get small cuts, bone fractures or bone density loss despite taking calcium and vitamin D. If these sound familiar, adding vitamin K to your diet could help improve not just your leg health but your overall mobility. How much vitamin K do you need? There's no one-size-fits-all recommendation for K2. But most experts suggest 90 to 120 mcg per day for adults. This can often be achieved through a mix of leafy greens and a few servings of cheese, eggs, or other K2-rich foods. Vitamin K's role in heart and joint health. One of the lesser-known benefits of K2 is its role in keeping calcium out of your arteries. Without enough K2, calcium can harden in the wrong places, leading to cardiovascular problems or stiff joints. By ensuring calcium stays in your bones, vitamin K2 protects not only your legs but your overall health. I remember speaking with Susan, a 71-year-old from California, who complained about knee stiffness and aching joints. She was already taking calcium and vitamin D, but it wasn't enough. We added K2 to her routine through aged cheese and a supplement. Within 6 weeks, Susan told me, "I can stand up from my chair without my knees locking up. It feels like someone oiled my joints." The perfect trio: vitamin D, calcium, and K2. I often tell my patients, if you're taking calcium without K2, you're only doing half the job. Vitamin D helps absorb calcium. Calcium strengthens bones and supports muscle signals. Vitamin K2 makes sure the calcium is used correctly, going into bones, not clogging arteries. When these three nutrients work together, the result is stronger legs, better balance, and a much lower risk of fractures or stiffness. Daily tips to boost vitamin K. Here's a simple way to add vitamin K to your day. Breakfast: scrambled eggs with spinach, K1 plus K2 combo. Lunch: a small salad with kale, topped with shredded cheese. Snack: a handful of nuts with a slice of cheese. Dinner: grilled chicken with a side of Brussels sprouts. This type of meal plan not only supports bone health but also pairs well with potassium and magnesium from other vegetables. A caution about blood thinners. If you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, you need to be careful with sudden increases in vitamin K. This doesn't mean you should avoid vitamin K altogether. It just means your intake needs to remain consistent. Always talk to your doctor before making any major dietary changes. The next step in your leg health journey. Vitamin K is the silent director that keeps your bones strong and joints flexible. But your muscles also depend on clear communication from your nervous system. In the next section, we'll explore vitamin B12, the nerve protector that ensures your legs move with precision and confidence. If you've ever stood up from a chair and felt your knees lock, or heard them creak like an old wooden door, you know how frustrating knee stiffness can be. It's not just uncomfortable, it can also make walking, climbing stairs, or even getting out of bed in the morning feel like a challenge. What many people don't realize is that vitamin K, especially K2, plays a critical role in reducing knee stiffness and maintaining smooth, pain-free movement. Why vitamin K helps stiff knees? Your knees are one of the most hard-working joints in your body. Every time you sit, stand, or walk, they bear much of your body weight. Over time, if calcium isn't deposited correctly in your bones and joints, stiffness and mild inflammation can set in. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic cop for calcium, directing it away from soft tissues like cartilage, where it doesn't belong, and into your bones, where it's needed for strength. This is why even if you're getting enough calcium and vitamin D, you can still experience stiff knees if your vitamin K levels are low. Without K2, calcium can collect in places where it causes more harm than good, leading to joint stiffness and discomfort. The connection between vitamin K and osteoarthritis. Recent studies have linked low vitamin K levels to a higher risk of knee osteoarthritis, one of the most common causes of stiffness and pain in older adults. Research published in Arthritis and Rheumatology found that people with low vitamin K were more likely to have knee cartilage problems and symptoms of osteoarthritis compared to those with healthy levels. Think of vitamin K as a joint protector. By ensuring proper calcium placement, it prevents unnecessary calcification of the cartilage and helps maintain flexibility. For seniors, this means easier movement and less of that wooden leg feeling when you stand up after sitting. Real-life example: Linda's transformation. I recall working with Linda, a 69-year-old retiree from Texas who loved gardening but started avoiding it because her knees felt stiff and sore every morning. She was already taking calcium and vitamin D but hadn't even heard of vitamin K2. We added K2-rich foods like eggs, aged cheese, and a supplement to her routine. In less than 6 weeks, Linda told me, "I can kneel in my garden again, and my knees don't feel like rusty hinges." The combination of proper nutrition and gentle stretching made all the difference. The best foods to fight knee stiffness. If you want to give your knees the nutrients they need, aim to include these vitamin K-rich foods regularly. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, collard greens, and bok choy for K1. Fermented foods, natto, richest source of K2, or sauerkraut. Aged cheeses, brie, Gouda, cheddar. Egg yolks, from pasture-raised chickens. Chicken thighs and liver, excellent animal-based sources of K2. Pairing these with calcium-rich foods, like dairy or almonds, and vitamin D sources, like salmon, creates a powerful trifecta for joint health. Daily habits to reduce knee stiffness. While diet is key, there are a few lifestyle habits that can enhance the benefits of vitamin K. Gentle stretching. Stretch your hamstrings, quads, and calves daily to keep knee joints flexible. Low-impact exercise. Activities like walking, swimming, or cycling keep joints lubricated without straining them. Strength training. Light resistance exercises help support the muscles around the knee, reducing pressure on the joint itself. Even something as simple as 5 to 10 minutes of knee-friendly stretches each morning can make a noticeable difference in stiffness. Supplements. When food alone isn't enough. Some people struggle to get enough K2 from food alone, especially if they don't eat much cheese or meat. In these cases, a vitamin K2 supplement, usually 90 to 120 mcg per day, can be helpful. It's best to take it alongside vitamin D and calcium for maximum effectiveness. Important note: if you're on blood thinners, like warfarin, you should never start vitamin K supplements without consulting your doctor. Vitamin K affects blood clotting, and sudden changes can interfere with your medication. K2 and muscle coordination. One overlooked benefit of vitamin K2 is its ability to improve muscle coordination. When your muscles and nerves communicate smoothly, you move more confidently and with better balance. This is especially important for seniors, as unsteady steps and balance issues can lead to falls. Many people who start taking K2 notice not just less stiffness, but also a subtle improvement in how fluid their movements feel. A knee-friendly meal plan. Here's an example of a vitamin K-packed day. Breakfast: scrambled eggs with spinach, K1 plus K2 combo. Lunch: chicken thigh with steamed broccoli and a side of avocado. Snack: aged cheese with a few whole grain crackers. Dinner: grilled salmon with kale salad and olive oil dressing. This plan naturally combines vitamin K with calcium, magnesium, and healthy fats, all essential for smooth, pain-free knees. Stretching tip for stiff knees. One simple stretch I recommend is the seated knee extension. Sit on a chair with your feet flat on the floor. Slowly extend one leg until it's straight. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Then lower it back down. Repeat 10 times on each leg. This exercise strengthens the muscles around your knee, which helps reduce stiffness and pressure. Looking ahead: protecting your nerves. Vitamin K is a powerful ally for your bones and joints. But your legs also rely on healthy nerve signals to move smoothly. In the next section, we'll explore vitamin B12, the nerve protector that keeps your muscles connected to your brain and prevents that heavy, sluggish feeling in your legs. Strong legs aren't just about muscles and bones. They also depend on something that's often overlooked: healthy nerve signals. Think of your nerves as the electric wires that connect your brain to every muscle fiber in your legs. If those wires are damaged or not working well, your legs won't respond quickly, no matter how strong your muscles are. Vitamin B12 is the key nutrient that protects these nerves and keeps your legs moving with precision and confidence. Why vitamin B12 is essential for your legs. Vitamin B12 helps maintain the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerves. This sheath acts like insulation on an electrical wire, ensuring that signals travel quickly and accurately. When B12 levels are low, the sheath can become damaged, causing signals to slow down or misfire. The result? Weakness, unsteady steps, tingling, or even numbness in your legs. B12 also plays a major role in producing red blood cells, which carry oxygen to your muscles. Without enough oxygen, your legs may feel heavy, tired, or sluggish after even light activity. The silent epidemic of B12 deficiency. Many adults over 60 are deficient in vitamin B12, and most don't know it. That's because our ability to absorb B12 declines with age. We produce less stomach acid, which is needed to extract B12 from food. Medications like antacids, metformin for diabetes, or proton pump inhibitors can make this problem worse. I remember talking to Arthur, a 72-year-old retired engineer from Wisconsin. He said, "Doc, I feel like my legs aren't listening to me anymore. They feel heavy. And sometimes I stumble even on flat ground." His blood test showed a B12 level far below normal. After 3 months of B12 supplements and diet changes, Arthur told me, "It's like someone flipped a switch. My legs feel lighter, and I'm walking with confidence again." Signs of vitamin B12 deficiency. B12 deficiency often sneaks up gradually, and its symptoms can be mistaken for aging. Here are some warning signs to watch for. Tingling or numbness in your feet or toes, like pins and needles. Weak or wobbly legs. Slow reflexes or delayed balance response. Fatigue or shortness of breath after mild exertion. Memory lapses or brain fog. B12 also affects cognitive health. If you have any of these symptoms, ask your doctor for a simple blood test. Catching a deficiency early can prevent permanent nerve damage. B12 and fall prevention. One of the most important benefits of vitamin B12 is its role in preventing falls. When nerve signals from your brain to your legs are clear and fast, you can react quickly if you trip or lose balance. Low B12 levels slow those signals, increasing the risk of falls, which can be life-changing for older adults. A study published in Neurology International found that older adults with healthy B12 levels had better balance, quicker reflexes, and fewer incidents of leg weakness compared to those who were deficient. Best food sources of B12. Vitamin B12 is found almost exclusively in animal-based foods. This means that vegetarians, vegans, or those who eat very little meat are especially at risk of deficiency. Top B12 foods include lean beef, turkey, and chicken, fish like salmon, tuna, and sardines, eggs and dairy products, milk, cheese, yogurt, shellfish, clams and crab are some of the richest natural sources. If you don't eat much meat or seafood, consider fortified foods like plant-based milks or cereals that have added B12. How much B12 do you need? The general recommendation for adults over 50 is 2.4 mcg per day. But many seniors benefit from higher doses, especially if absorption is an issue. B12 is water-soluble, so any extra amount your body doesn't need is simply flushed out in your urine, making it very safe. Supplements and injections. For those with low levels or absorption problems, B12 supplements can be life-changing. There are 3 main forms: tablets or capsules, cyanobalamin or methylcobalamin; sublingual, under the tongue, drops or lozenges, often absorbed better; injections, prescribed by doctors for severe deficiencies, providing a quick boost. I often suggest starting with a daily B12 supplement of 500 to 1.000 mcg for a few weeks if levels are low. Then rechecking with a blood test. The B vitamin trio for nerve health. B12 works best alongside vitamin B6 and folate, B9. Together, they support nerve regeneration and improve blood flow to your muscles. This trio is often called the neurological gold standard because of its powerful effect on nerve and muscle coordination. Many B-complex supplements combine all 3, making it easy to get the right balance. Daily tips to boost B12. Start your morning with fortified cereal and low-fat milk. Add an egg or 2 to your breakfast. The yolks are a good source of B12. Include fish or lean meat for lunch or dinner several times a week. If you're vegetarian, rely on fortified foods or supplements to meet your needs. Real-life success story, Evelyn. Evelyn, a 74-year-old from Arizona, used to feel unsteady when walking, especially on uneven ground. She avoided going out with her friends because she feared tripping. After testing, her B12 was found to be very low. She started with a weekly injection for a month, then switched to oral supplements. Within 6 weeks, she said, "I feel like I have my legs back. I'm not afraid to walk across the park anymore." Next up, vitamin B6, the final piece of the puzzle. Vitamin B12 is powerful, but it's not the only B vitamin your legs need. In the next section, we'll talk about vitamin B6, the quiet energy booster that fights fatigue, supports nerve signals, and helps your muscles recover faster. Strong muscles and healthy bones are vital, but they won't do much good if your body can't coordinate movement properly. Reflexes, the quick responses your body uses to keep you steady, are often what save you from a fall or injury. As we age, many people notice that their reflexes slow down. They trip on a curb and can't catch themselves in time, or they lose balance and can't correct it fast enough. This isn't always about muscle strength. Often, it's because the nervous system isn't firing signals as effectively as it used to. Vitamins B12 and B6 play a critical role in keeping your reflexes sharp and your coordination smooth. Why reflexes matter more after 60. As we get older, our body's reaction time naturally slows down. But when this slowing combines with weaker legs or poor balance, it can become dangerous. A sudden stumble that you could have easily corrected in your 30s might now send you tumbling. Sharp reflexes are what help you quickly tighten your core, shift your weight, or grab a railing in those split-second moments. Reflexes rely on a healthy communication network between your brain, nerves, and muscles. When that network is damaged, often by nutrient deficiencies, it's like a phone line with static. The message is delayed or distorted, making your reaction sluggish. This is where B vitamins, particularly B12 and B6, step in. The role of B12 and B6 in coordination. Vitamin B12 protects the myelin sheath around your nerves, ensuring that messages travel quickly from your brain to your muscles. Without it, nerve signals slow, and your legs might feel out of sync. Vitamin B6 helps your body produce neurotransmitters, the chemicals that carry signals between nerves and muscles. It also supports hemoglobin production, which improves oxygen delivery to muscle fibers. More oxygen means better stamina and quicker muscle response. Together, these vitamins ensure that your brain and muscles are speaking the same language, resulting in smoother, faster movements. Signs of weak reflexes. It's not always obvious when your reflexes are slowing down. Here are some subtle signs to watch for. You notice that it takes longer to catch yourself when you stumble. Your legs sometimes feel like they lag behind your mind. You have trouble maintaining balance on uneven surfaces. You feel hesitant stepping off a curb or climbing stairs. Tasks that require coordination, like stepping sideways or pivoting, feel clumsy. If you relate to these, improving nerve health through B vitamins can help restore that lost agility. Real-life story: Frank's balance comeback. Frank, a 70-year-old retired firefighter from Texas, told me he stopped going fishing because he felt unsteady walking on the dock. "My legs just don't react like they used to," he said. After checking his nutrient levels, we found he was very low in B12 and slightly deficient in B6. I recommended adding B12-rich foods, like salmon and eggs, and a B-complex supplement that included B6. Within 6 weeks, Frank said, "It's like I've rewired my legs. I can move with confidence again." Foods that improve reflexes. You don't need anything fancy to get B12 and B6, just a few smart food choices. For B12, lean meats, chicken, beef, fish, salmon, tuna, dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt, and eggs. For B6, bananas, chicken breast, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified cereals. Combo meals, a simple breakfast of scrambled eggs with spinach, or baked salmon with roasted potatoes, gives you a double hit of these nerve-supporting vitamins. Daily habits to sharpen coordination. While vitamins play a big role, your nervous system also benefits from movement that challenges your reflexes. Here are a few exercises I often recommend to my older patients. Heel-to-toe walk. Place one foot directly in front of the other as you walk in a straight line. This improves balance and coordination. Side steps. Step side to side across your living room for a few minutes. Chair taps. Sit in a chair and practice quickly standing and sitting. Focusing on smooth, controlled movement. Doing these exercises for just 5 to 10 minutes a day can train your nervous system to respond faster. The role of oxygen and energy. Your reflexes also depend on how well your muscles are fueled with oxygen and energy. Vitamin B6 helps produce hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen. More oxygen means your muscles can respond quickly without tiring out as fast. That's why people who improve their B6 intake often report not just better coordination, but also less leg fatigue. When supplements are helpful. If you're not sure you're getting enough B12 and B6 from food, a B-complex supplement can be a safe way to cover your bases. Most include B12, 500-1.000 mcg, especially important for people over 60. B6, 1.5 to 2 milligrams, the typical daily need for adults. B vitamins are water-soluble, meaning any excess is flushed out, making them generally very safe when taken at recommended doses. Balance tip: the reflex test. One simple way to check your reflexes is to stand near a wall for support. Then gently push yourself off balance, just slightly, and see how quickly your legs adjust. If your reaction is slow or you feel wobbly, it might be time to focus on nerve-nourishing vitamins and balance exercises. Looking ahead, the final piece, vitamin B6. While B12 and B6 together improve nerve health and coordination, vitamin B6 has its own powerful benefits for muscle energy, repair, and stamina. In the next section, we'll explore how vitamin B6, the quiet energy booster, can help you fight fatigue, recover faster, and keep every step strong. If vitamin B12 is the protector of your nerves, then vitamin B6 is the energy booster that keeps those nerves and muscles working together seamlessly. It's often the forgotten vitamin when we talk about leg health. But without enough B6, your muscles can't fully recover. Your energy levels dip, and even simple tasks, like walking around the block, can leave you feeling tired or unsteady. Why vitamin B6 matters for your legs. Vitamin B6, also called pyridoxine, is crucial for over 100 enzyme reactions in your body, many of which directly affect muscle and nerve health. Specifically, B6 supports neurotransmitters, the chemicals that allow your brain to send quick and accurate messages to your muscles. Helps build hemoglobin, ensuring your muscles receive enough oxygen to perform without fatigue. Aids in protein metabolism, which is essential for repairing and maintaining muscle mass, particularly important as we age and naturally lose muscle strength, sarcopenia. Without enough B6, your muscles don't just feel weaker, they also recover slower, making your legs feel heavy or sore for longer than they should. The energy booster for everyday movement. One of the first signs of low B6 is early fatigue. You may notice that standing for long periods, walking upstairs, or carrying groceries tires you out more quickly than before. This isn't always a sign of aging. Sometimes it's your body telling you that it doesn't have the right nutrients to keep going. B6 ensures your muscles are efficiently converting food into energy, giving you that stamina you need for daily activities. I remember Rita, a 66-year-old retiree from Colorado, who said, "I used to feel like my legs were running out of battery halfway through the day." After adding B6-rich foods like chicken, bananas, and potatoes, plus a B-complex supplement, she reported, "I have more energy in my legs now than I did 5 years ago." Signs of vitamin B6 deficiency. B6 deficiency isn't as widely discussed as B12, but it's more common than people realize, especially among older adults or those on certain medications. Symptoms include tingling or numbness in hands or feet, often mistaken for nerve issues, persistent muscle fatigue or weakness, restless or jittery legs, especially at night, poor coordination or slower reflexes, cracks at the corners of the mouth or frequent irritability. B6 also affects mood. Best food sources of vitamin B6. The good news is that B6 is widely available in everyday foods. Poultry, chicken and turkey. Fish, salmon and tuna are excellent sources. Vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes, spinach, and carrots. Legumes, chickpeas, lentils, and beans. Fruits, bananas, watermelon, and avocados. Fortified cereals. A simple breakfast swap can boost your daily B6 intake. For example, a medium-baked potato and a banana can give you nearly half of your daily B6 needs in just 2 foods. How much B6 do you need? For adults over 50, the recommended daily intake is about 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men. While this might sound small, many seniors fall short due to reduced appetite or limited diet variety. The role of B6 in recovery and flexibility. B6 doesn't just help you move, it also helps you recover. After physical activity, whether it's a short walk or some light stretching, your muscles need protein repair. B6 is essential for breaking down and using that protein effectively. Without it, recovery takes longer, leaving your legs feeling stiff or sore. It also helps regulate chronic inflammation, a common cause of joint and muscle stiffness in older adults. By calming this low-grade inflammation, B6 helps keep your legs feeling flexible and pain-free. Real-life example, Walter's story. Walter, a 70-year-old grandfather from Missouri, told me, "I used to wake up with legs that felt like wooden planks. No amount of walking made them feel alive again." We added a few B6-rich foods to his daily routine: scrambled eggs with spinach for breakfast, grilled salmon for dinner, along with a 50 milligrams B6 supplement, a safe dose under his doctor's supervision. Within a month, Walter said, "I feel like I can trust my legs again. No more morning stiffness. And my balance is better." Combining B6 with B12 and folate. B6 is part of a powerful trio with B12 and folate, B9. Together, these 3 B vitamins improve nerve repair, muscle coordination, and energy metabolism. Many seniors notice the best results when they take a B complex supplement that includes all 3, rather than B6 alone. This combination ensures that your nervous system is fully supported from all angles. Daily routine for stronger, more responsive legs. Here's a simple routine to ensure you get enough B6. Breakfast, a bowl of fortified cereal with banana slices. Lunch, a tuna or chicken salad with mixed greens. Snack, a handful of chickpeas or roasted lentils. Dinner, grilled salmon with baked sweet potatoes and steamed broccoli. This plan not only meets your B6 needs but also includes magnesium, potassium, and vitamin K, making it a full-spectrum approach to leg health. When to use supplements. If you have persistent symptoms like numbness or heavy fatigue, a supplement may help. Most seniors do well with 25 to 50 milligrams of B6 in a balanced B complex formula. But be careful with high doses. Taking too much B6 over a long period, over 200 milligrams daily, can actually cause nerve problems. Always stick to safe, recommended amounts. The final step to steady, confident walking. Vitamin B, the 6th of May, be the final key, because it ties everything together: energy, nerve signals, muscle recovery, and flexibility. Without it, all the calcium, potassium, or vitamin D in the world won't help you move with confidence. With it, your legs have the support they need for every step, climb, and stretch. Next, bringing it all together, we've explored the 7 powerhouse vitamins and minerals for leg strength, coordination, and cramp prevention. In the conclusion, we'll recap the essential steps you can take starting today to keep your legs strong and steady for years to come. We've journeyed through the 7 essential vitamins and minerals that keep your legs strong, steady, and cramp-free after 60, each one playing a vital role in your mobility and independence. We started with vitamin D, the balance booster, which strengthens muscles, sharpens reflexes, and supports calcium absorption for healthier bones. Then we explored calcium, the foundation of both bones and muscle contractions, ensuring every step you take is stable and powerful. From there, we discovered vitamin K, the bone director, guiding calcium to the right places while keeping your joints flexible and reducing stiffness. We learned how magnesium, the cramp fighter, calms overactive muscles, prevents spasms, and partners with calcium for smooth movement. Potassium, the muscle gatekeeper, ensures nerve signals fire correctly and prevents the sudden cramps or weakness that can undermine your confidence. Finally, we looked at the B vitamin trio, B12 and B6, which keep nerve signals sharp, boost reflexes, and fight fatigue, giving you steady energy throughout the day. The most powerful takeaway? These nutrients don't work in isolation, they work together, like a team, to give you strong bones, healthy nerves, and responsive muscles. Small changes, adding leafy greens, enjoying a piece of salmon, getting a few minutes of morning sun can make a dramatic difference in your strength and balance within weeks. It's never too late to take control of your leg health. With the right nutrition and simple habits, you can keep walking confidently, climbing stairs with ease, and living life on your terms, no matter your age. Start today, because every step you take toward better health is a step toward freedom, independence, and a stronger future.